Welcome back to the railroad. We've made some changes to our ballast room and improved its functionality. We're now able to lift the broom elements up and over grade crossings and switches. Let's go back in time and tell you the whole story. As the amount of finished track on the railroad grew, we knew we had to come up with a solution for evenly spreading the top layer of ballast so it was even with the top of the ties. Class 1 railroads would use a ballast regulator for this job, and of course we didn't have one. So we opted for a simplified version that would act as a leveling broom. Using actual ballast regulator brushes, or what are known as elements or whiskers, we built 4 rows of these and installed them on the front of a 2-axle frame we had acquired. By running this broom back and forth along the track, it did a good job of leveling the ballast and saved an enormous amount of manual labor. While putting this piece of equipment to use, we started looking for a way to use hydraulics to lift the broom up and over obstacles like grade crossings and switches, which tended to want to derail the unit. We acquired this truck-mounted pavement marking machine with hydraulic arms on it that we can incorporate into our ballast broom design. We'll remove all the unnecessary components and only keep what we need for lifting. So we're back here with the striper applicator that Dave acquired, and we've been slowly stripping parts off of it that we don't need. There's not a whole lot left, and what we want to do is get it to the point where we just have these 2 arms from where my hand is back to the controls. This front part is where the applicator used to sit, and that's all gone now. We've taken that out. So this will be, we're only going to be using that ram and these set of arms to lift our regulator brush off the track and back down again. When we get it all stripped down, it's going to be mounted on this end of our old ballast regulator frame. And it turns out the platform with the controls on it fits basically perfectly right here in the middle. And then of course this will all be separated, and cut all this out. These arms will be gone, and then that lifting arm will take the place of that, where we can lift this off the track and then drop it back down again. So another step on that project is going to take a while. Should be able to. After dismantling the parts on the applicator that we didn't need, we began mocking up the arms with the brush assembly. Up. Now we know. And so we just did a kind of a mock-up here with the arms up a little bit from parallel to the ground to see if we had any down pressure, and we do. So the problem with that is you will lift the end of the car up and derail this car if you go all the way down. So we're going to have to readjust this, and these arms are going to have to be flat when we make our supports for the elements here. So there'll be some beams, some vertical beams. We don't know exactly how we're going to do it yet, to connect our arm with the element brushes, and that should work out fine. And then when we come up to a spot where we want to regulate ballast, we're going to have to drive into it. We're going to have to lower the elements real slowly as we're driving forward, which will also keep it from derailing. Because if we don't, we'll derail from that. So when you don't have a rotating brush and you have just a flat unit like this, that's the way you got to do it.
Once we were happy with the configuration of the two arms, we fabricated the bracketing that would support the brushes. With the support bracketing welded in place, we ran some tests to make sure everything was working right. We'll be running cable to locomotive 119 and tying into its electrical system for control of the arms. Originally, we had used 3 weights at the back of the frame to make it heavier, as it had a tendency to bounce up slightly. We removed 2 of them when we added the applicator, but we figured it's about the same weight as before. After completing the fabrication and testing, we prepped and painted the unit in our O'Galley yellow color and added our usual safety stripes. The car frame came with 3 hubcaps for the wheels, so we fabricated a 4th one to finish the build. It looks great, and we can't wait to get it back out on the main line in the coming weeks. Thanks again for joining us.